And we're live. Welcome back again to each and every one with your boy GSC Gov. And hope you guys have a wonderful evening today or morning, wherever you are. I really appreciate each and every one who take the time out to join me each and every time on stream. I really appreciate everything that you guys have been done for this channel. We're almost there to 500. We're reaching where we want to go. So we're really appreciate each and every one, for their support. I hope you guys remember to like, share, and please subscribe to the GSC Garvan YouTube channel. We try our best to give you guys as much content as we can. So hope you guys stick with me for the rest of the probably an hour or so. And as we get into the Premier League show, where we're gonna talk a little bit about Chelsea and the rest of Premier League fixtures, which one is going on right now. As you see, I'm looking down because I think that one's going in our favor because Manchester United is playing Nottingham Forest at this point in time. And, Nottingham Forest is already up 1 goal. So, that will give us a little plus right there. In the long run, that will help us out to climb the table if we take our opportunity, because this is Chelsea Football Club. So we have to be careful when we talk about, those are the opportunities because we tend to these days don't really take our opportunity to the fullest. So hopefully we can take all of our opportunity that we get. Thanks Notorious Tash already in the building, you know, live on Living Colors. Appreciate you being here. So I'm just checking the score, guys, to see if it's still the same. Yeah, so it's the same way. Nottingham Forest still leading by a goal. So right there, we got Nottingham Forest still leading Manchester United. Uh, all right, we're gonna start off with the game, the Wolverhampton and Everton. So we got Wolverhampton 3, Everton nil. The Everton seems like they ran out of steam because they're on like a 5-game winning streak. So they dropped points in the last couple of games. But I'm looking for Sean Dice to really pull his team through as usual. So for me, I don't worry about Everton, or the relegation part of the season for this point. It's too early, but I think Everton will get there. I think um I think Wolves is they're on a real nice run too. So they tie on points with Chelsea at this point in time. So Wolverhampton they're picking up a little steam. O'Neill did a wonderful job when he go over there. He steadied the ship as so quickly. It's unexpected because none of us can say we really expect him to second that ship after they got so much problems, and he stepped in, he took the job, and he's doing a wonderful job. You have to give credit where credit due because he really he really seconded the ship because a lot of people did think Wolverhampton would probably be down there fighting relegation this season, to be quite honest. No one really expect them to really climb out of the relegation zone and be pushing even for Europe, after the financial problem that they got, and they have to sell and get rid of some of their players, leave some of their best players. And right now they're still up there. So that to show you that they really do have a good structure there. Cannot really complain, to be quite honest, about what they're doing because if Chelsea don't take their chances, what can so you do? Like you can do nothing. Chelsea have to take their chances. It's time for Chelsea to really, you know, start to live up to expectation. So Wolverhampton is doing Wolverhampton thing. Chelsea just need to do Chelsea thing, and yeah. So next game that we're gonna go to, what a game! This one was a really, really, really good game. Aston Villa versus Burnley. I watched this one too, and I can tell you guys, this was a good game. Aston Villa versus right was a good game. I mean, the notorious stash. Good win for Chelsea, but Luton need 10 more minutes. Yeah, we're gonna touch on that later on. 100% correct. Luton didn't even need 10 more minutes. Luton just need probably 2 more minutes. Probably just 2 more minutes. I think 10 minutes was too much, to be quite honest. But we're going to get into that later on. We're going to touch on the Chelsea topic. Okay, I have to leave Chelsea for last. Uh, 10 more minutes is too much. You need to put the next one and said probably a minute. Because 1 more minute and I think Luton would have equalized, to be quite honest. So Burnley, Aston Villa. Aston Villa took the lead early, and Burnley equalized, and then Aston Villa go ahead again, and Burnley equalize again, and then I think Aston Villa get a late penalty to really snatch it, and I'm telling you, Burnley go down to 10 men, but they did put up a fight. They did really, really, really put on a good performance. It's just some silly little mistake, that do happens. There's some things that you can avoid and there's some that you can't avoid. But they were really, 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 really impressive today. Barely, honestly, they they really put on a good show. Ooh, breaking. Guys, Manchester United won, Nottingham Forest 2. Well, that's the score right now. Because I'm watching the game while I'm live. So right now, it's going right now in Chelsea favor with Manchester United because they dropped 3 points, we gained 3 points, so we're closer to them. I don't think Manchester United been playing better than us, to be quite honest, to be ahead of us. That's my biasness as a Chelsea fan. Nottingham Forest, right there. Nottingham Forest 2, Manchester United 1. 5 minutes left to go, plus added time. Man, I was rooting for Burnley. Yeah, Burnley played really well, and honestly, they were just unlucky. If they weren't unlucky, I can guarantee you that they will probably leave there with something if they didn't go down to 10 men, or if they didn't get that late penalty, which I can't complain say it's not a penalty. I think it was the right call, but it was really close though, because it was barely late. It was barely touch his foot, but it is a penalty, but Burnley is just playing Burnley way, and they look really good today, to be honest. They show a little bit of fighting spirit, different from what I've been seeing for most of the season. But Aston Villa, they keep finding way how to win. Different from last week when they lose to Manchester United, when they take the 2-0 lead. I thought it would be one of those moments again today. But unfortunately, Burnley just fall short. And Aston Villa, all credit to them. Leon Bailey is back again. He's on form, to be quite honest. Right now, for me, he's the most on form player, Aston Villa player right now. He's either is making the assist or, the man that make the pass before the assist, in the right area is already scoring goals, so give credit to Leon Bailey, yeah, and Aston Villa, for walk away with those 3 points, well deserved 3 points, but well fought for Burnley. They just fall short, as I said earlier. Good one. The next one is Manchester City 2, Sheffield United nil. And Rugby scored a good goal, and I think Alvarez scored a second goal. And Manchester City seems like they're picking up a little bit of momentum, as Manchester City do. I'm just unfortunate that the teams that get the opportunity, to clear away from Man City when they were dropping points, I don't think they take the good enough advantage of that situation, because they're just 2 points, away from the leaders. And I think Arsenal and Liverpool, they dropped multiple points in between when Man City was on their worst. And you can't really do that around Man City, to be quite honest. But what I like this season, to be quite honest, about the Premier League is the form that the team is on, to be quite honest. So your Liverpool is up there as your runaway leader at this point in time, but you got Arsenal around there, you got Aston Villa in the mix, you got Man City, you can write them off, and then you got Tottenham. So it's kind of like close at this point in time, for a regular season. To be honest, you got team up there right now that none of us expect to be up there. Can Aston Villa go on an amazing run and pull off a Leicester? Liverpool and Arsenal is always title contender, even if they don't win it. But they're gonna always be up there. But the surprise one is Aston Villa. Aston Villa is surprising each and every one this season, to be quite honest. If we all to be honest with ourselves, we all can say that Aston Villa right now they got the wild card. It's up to them, to be honest. It's up to Aston Villa to decide what they really, really, really want to do. If they go even in the January market, and bring a 1 or 2 players to give them a little more depth, they probably can push. Even if they fall short at the end, at least we can all say that they have a wonderful season. Because that's how the game is. There's nothing really guaranteed, but their fate is in their own hand, to be quite honest. Liverpool for the tiger. Honestly, I have nothing against Liverpool. If Liverpool win it, long as Arsenal don't take it, to be quite honest. If Aston Villa can go ahead and do it for me, I would really, really, really appreciate it. If Aston Villa just go on an amazing run and finish it off. But if Liverpool win it, I won't be that silly about it. I will clap and I will cheer them on. I don't want Man City to do to compete 4 in a row or 5 in a row. So I'd rather Liverpool take it. But Arsenal for me, no. Tottenham, no. No London team not supposed to have it for me. Because London is blue. London is blue. Merseyside is red, as we all know. Because Everton ain't gonna be up there no time soon. But for me, Liverpool is not my rival. My biggest rival right now is Arsenal and Tottenham. Long as Arsenal and Tottenham don't win it, my London rival, for me, that's joy. Because if Arsenal do win it, I'm telling you, it's over for me. Because the Arsenal fan, they're gonna say they're the king of London. Right now, Chelsea is still the top of London. We're still the king of London, even when we're struggling, even when we're not amongst the best. But right now, we're the one that hold the title for London for a long, long time. the pride of London is right there at Chelsea. So Liverpool for me, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful run. And for me, if Liverpool go in the market, to be quite honest, and get them another defender and a midfielder and a good old midfielder, and probably a striker, to help Mo Salah, I think Liverpool can snatch it away from Manchester City. To be honest, I don't think Arsenal can do it. I think Arsenal mostly gonna drop it because Liverpool is the only team I know can go on a running a winning streak where they can win constantly. Paper enough to do it. Arsenal, if they do get a striker, that can give them at least 15 to 20 goals for the rest of the season, then we can say yeah. But for right now, for me, Liverpool and Aston Villa are my two favorites at this point in time. But Aston Villa is my number one favorite for the Tiger. Even if we know that it's probably not possible, but for me, I would say right now, Aston Villa is my number one favorite. And then after that, Liverpool can always come in second. And if Aston Villa can do it, I would love for Liverpool to do it for me. Take Arsenal away. And the next game is Crystal Palace versus Beckford. That was a good game because Crystal Palace was down 1 goal in probably the first 2 minutes or 1 minute of the game, to be quite honest. That's how early they scored in Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace come back to win the game 3-1. What a game for Crystal Palace. They shake off their loss and they come right back again. I'm telling you guys, that guy, he was in Chelsea Academy and he left for Crystal Palace, and I think he did the right thing. Essay, what a player. I see why Chelsea didn't want to pay all that money for him in the summer. He is a talent. He is a really, really, really good player. And honestly, I really see why a lot of big teams will really come in for him because he gave you he's a different maker, to be quite honest. I would swap him right now for Raheem Sterling. Honestly, I can put my hands up on that one. I would swap him right now for Raheem Sterling, like immediately. No grudge, no Osbar. I would just do it. And it have nothing to do with nothing. It's just, for me, this player right now is way, way more consistent than Raheem Sterling. He started the season off with an injury. Back, he been showing that Crystal Palace did really miss him because he's fine in the back of the net. And that's what you pay all those big money for. So it's 95th minute, and Nottingham Forest still leading. So at this point in time, Nottingham Forest still leading Manchester United, and that's a big plus right there for me. Yeah, so that looked really, 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 really good for me. Tomorrow, you got Arsenal. That's a 9 a.m. game. Arsenal versus Fulham. Arsenal is traveling to Fulham. Fulham is fine in the back of the net, to be quite honest. Fulham is really playing some good stuff. So I can't sit here and say that Fulham not playing good. They conceding goals, but they are creating goals too. That's the difference. You never can tell what you're going to get from Fulham. And I think they're Chelsea's next opponent in the Premier League too. So Fulham versus Arsenal tomorrow. That's a game. That's one of the game. I'm checking the rest of the game. That's the one I think I'm going to watch that one on the TV. I can watch the next one on my phone. So tomorrow, Arsenal versus Fulham at 9. At 9, I think that one is the main game I'm going to watch because that's going to be more entertaining. But this game is going to be entertaining too. I didn't really see this game until just now. Tottenham versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth versus Tottenham. Bournemouth, they've been playing good, to be quite honest. I was saying on a stream last night that I would love to take back Solanke, even for the end of the season, to be quite honest. Solanke is on fire. Solanke is playing some good stuff, to be quite honest. So I won't take anything away from Bournemouth right now. Don't be surprised if they walk away with a draw or a win. But they're at Tottenham Stadium, and Tottenham been on and off this season. So this is gonna be a very good game too. But the thing is, what I don't like, they start both game at the same time. Why you didn't bring one on later on like they normally do? It's just two games tomorrow. You could at least put one 11 o'clock, or 11:30, because this one is 9 o'clock. Then the next game gonna be on Monday. So I don't see why they try to put both games together. I don't see that one makes sense for me right there. Because why would you put the both games, right there together? All right, let me check back the score. What they're waiting on to finish the game is 99 minutes right there. It's still 99 minutes. So Nottingham Forest still leading. The game should be over in a minute now, or probably I'm behind. Anyone in the comment section can tell me if the game is finished? When Nottingham Forest win this one, that's a big plus for us. And yeah, big up, bro. I'm doing good, bro. Up the Chelsea, proper Chelsea. We get a victory today. That's that. I was saving our game for last. If you want to jump on, if you want to jump on and have a little say, you can. The It's right there. It's right there in the chat. If you want to jump on for a minute, be free to do so. If you want to talk a little bit about the game today, be free right there. The link is right here. If you want to jump on for a minute. 11 minutes. I'm waiting on the Manchester United game to just be done and over with, because right there, that's a big plus for us. Because the next match that Manchester United have, they're gonna play Tottenham. So they're gonna, one or the other gonna drop points right there. As long as we take our chance when we play against Fulham the next game, we take a win, we're right up there. It's time for us to start to put a gap between we and the rest, or close the gap. That's one of the main thing right there for me. But with the Chelsea game today, bro, tell me what you think about the game today. If you're still in the comments, what do you think about the game today? Because today it was a game that, for me, I think that we were really lucky, to be quite honest. I think that we were really lucky. And I think Luton was just unfortunate, honestly. I think we ride our luck today. Come on, Nottingham Forest. Come on, Forest. Nottingham Forest is holding on. 13 minutes of added on time. 13 minutes of added on time. 13 minutes. 13 minutes. Okay, the game is finally over. Nottingham Forest win, people. So Nottingham Forest take the 3 points away from Manchester United. You know that's a plus. Sorry for all my Manchester United subscriber, but banter is banter, right? Banter is banter. My team didn't play nothing today, to be quite honest. In the second half, we were lucky to walk away with 3 points. We were lucky. Thank goodness for the early performance in the first half from the players, because from then we didn't do nothing. We didn't do nothing at all. Like nothing at all. We didn't do nothing. So the game finally finished. So that's the weekend. That's the Saturday, all the Saturday game right there. So Nottingham Forest 2, Manchester United 1, Wolverhampton 3, Everton 0, Aston Villa 3, Burnley 2, Manchester City. Manchester City is back, people. Manchester City 2, Sheffield United 0, Crystal Palace 3, Beckford 1, Luton Town 2, Chelsea 3. So Chelsea got a victory today. What a performance from Cole Palmer. They said he's cold like ice. For me, he is Chelsea signing of the season. So far, so good. He is performing like a Chelsea player. I've been saying this for a while now, and I've been saying it last night too. Nikos Jackson. Jackson is not a striker. I've been saying this over and over, and no one really take me that seriously. That Nikos Jackson is not a striker. Jackson is a player, want to drop deep, pick the ball up because he's good on passing the ball. He's good with link up plays. He's good at moving in spaces. So for me, he's not an out and out striker. And I think Pochettino being seeing it and be getting that right. So we need to get a striker. For me, we don't need any young striker right now. I would go for Solanke, or I will go for even Tommy Abraham. I would even try to bring back Tommy Abraham. But that striker from Sporting, I don't want to take the risk anymore, to be quite honest. If we can get Osimhen at this point in time, those are my two strikers I will go for right now. Right now and then, for me. Or I will go for Ollie Watkinson. Because, Ivan Toney, they said he's more likely to go to Arsenal. So if I can get those two, that's the main striker right now. I will go for one of those three players, or even Even if I can go find Cavani wherever he's playing and give him a contract till the end of the season, someone with experience. Even Bobby Firmino, because I heard that he's not really happy there, even though he's a former Liverpool player. I don't think he would really want to come back to the Premier League, to be quite honest, because he's a Liverpool legend. But for me, those are the strikers I would really go for at this point in time. We Chelsea really do need a striker. Nicholas Jackson for me is a player more fit the system than even Ryan Sterling to play him out wide because he does something when he drop deep that Ryan Sterling don't really do. He try to link up play. He try to move in spaces. Ryan Sterling don't really do stuff like that. He always overdriven. I'm not beating on Ryan Sterling today, but that's what Ryan Sterling normally does. Ryan Sterling normally either he overdriven, he don't really link up plays, honestly. So right now for me, I would more go with Nicholas Jackson on the left, Cole Palmer on the right. If our Christopher Nkuku, in the middle and Cole Palmer on the right. But for me, right now, Ryan Sterling would have to ready and be playing out of his shell right now to get back in the squad. To how I see it, there's nothing against the player. I love the player because he's born in Jamaica overall, just like myself. So I love all the Jamaican players, the Lillian Bailey and all of them. I love all of them. But for me right now, Raheem Sterling kill or attack sometime, most of the time, because you never can tell when he's gonna perform. And that's the biggest problem for me with Raheem Sterling. We don't know when he's gonna perform. So you're gonna always have to gamble and put him out there. Sometimes he do give you a good show, sometimes he doesn't. He's been scoring goals here and there, but the Raheem Sterling that I know, if you check Raheem Sterling when he was at Manchester City, he wasn't the type of player who was doing a lot of dribbling. People used to scare Raheem Sterling off his pace by his running behind, like he pass it and go, and you've tried to hit him behind, and that's what Raheem Sterling good at. But here in Chelsea, he tried to be a dribbler, and that's not his game. And that's what killing our attack because you never know what you're getting from Raheem Sterling. You cannot have a good idea what you're gonna get from him. This today we started from Nicholas Jackson. He always looking for a pass. He always looking for a good run behind. Blue, I really appreciate it, bro. Big up, big up, big up. What a win today. That was a good win today. How you doing today? What a win.
Hey, hey, bro, big up, big up, big up. Am I audible?
Yeah, it's a good win today. Really, really, really love the win. What you think about the game?
Yeah, bro. It was a good game. Uh, it was shaky. At first, I felt we could do much better, but then at the end, we just gave all the lead away. And at one point, after that Enzo mistake, I thought we must just concede the third goal and could have ended up as a draw, but that didn't happen. So yeah, a good game.
Yeah, what do you think about our defense line? Because I have something to say about the defense line. What you think is the big problem in our defense?
Um, Bro, personally for me, um, I think it's the manager, and I am different from those people uh, who who are all pro Poch and pro management. I'm a person who is skeptical about how Poch goes for business and how this ownership does business. So from my point of view, it's the manager which is cause of trouble, because your defense can be shaky for one game, two game, three game, or few games, right? But if it's shaky on a continuous basis, then there is a problem, and that the manager needs to solve that problem, which he is not doing. So yeah, and uh, individual mistakes sometimes, but they are shielded. Excel Disasi. Sometimes they don't gel together much. Wesley Fofana is injured, so nothing much can be done there. So yeah, a lot of mistakes, and we allow a lot of crosses inside the box, which we shouldn't. So yeah, things can improve. We have quality players, but the manager needs to take accountability of repetitive mistakes that happen game after game after game, which is not happening unfortunately for Chelsea.
Yeah, 100% correct. I'm gonna say that the reason why we're looking for the if you notice, we keep on link with defenders, and for us spend so much money on defenders, I don't think we should really be linking with so much defenders, to be quite honest. But you can see that we got a big problem with our defense with crossing, because most of the goals that we concede, it come from either a corner kick or crossing.
Yeah,
So that to show you that our or we don't got a defensive a set piece coach, and I think that's where
yeah.
we need to improve on.
Yeah, there has been a problem, bro. I had just one request. Actually, it's late night over here, and I cannot actually speak on my highest voice. That's why I'm actually significantly reducing my voice and speak. So at any given point, if you feel that my voice is so low that you cannot hear it, please intimidate me. Okay? So I'll raise my voice levels. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So on that point that you just raised on links to defenders, I would like to say that. Um, I personally think I read today that we were linked to Pau Cubarsi from Barcelona. We are strongly linked to Osman Diamonde, is it the name? From Sporting Lisbon, I guess. Diamonde.
Mhm.
Uh, that is a youngster we are linked to. And then we are also linked to Jonathan Tah from Bayern Leverkusen. Uh, Out of all these options, I personally would prefer Jonathan Tah from Leverkusen, because I personally think after Thiago Silva, our legend, he is unfortunately, I guess, not extending his contract. If I would have been in the management, I would have given him a rolling contract, because he knows what is, you know, to be Chelsea. He has been it. He has been it, and he is proper Chelsea. So, but he is unfortunately, I guess, not extending his contract. So we need someone with experience in that back line. And I personally would prefer Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen to be that guy. Yeah.
But with Thiago Silva, the reason why I wouldn't give him another contract, that these players are gonna have to grow up, and take full responsibility, and that's up to the manager. While we got Thiago Silva for this season, I think all these players that's there have to be learning at this point in time. They're in a learning stage, and this is a stage where I'm not even pressuring for top four or nothing. This is a learning stage for all these young players. This is stage for them to adapt. Keep on staying in between the top, the European competition, and probably close to the top four. For me, is okay. But the players, for me, have to settle in right now and know that this is our learning stage. This is our time to make mistakes, but
Yeah.
not too much mistake. So I wouldn't say that we need to give Thiago Silva another contract, to be quite honest, because the guy gonna have to go one day, and we
Yeah.
can't
True.
keep on have Thiago Silva right there, and then he's not gonna be able to bail them out at all times, because the game that we play against Crystal Palace, when
Yeah.
when Thiago Silva come on the field, you can see the difference, because we did got big gap in our defense line, and he come
Yeah.
and marshal the defense just
Yeah.
like.
He is aging. That's true. He is aging after all, right? So he's not the same Thiago Silva, but I guess all these players in our defense are very young. And you look at any other defense, bro. It's like you look at Man City, you look at Liverpool, you look at even a Burnley. I guess all those defenses, the black lines have an average age of 25 or above. Some have an average age of 27, 28 or above. So you need back experience in backline. And who have we got in the backline? Axel Disasi, I guess, is the oldest right now in the backline. If you exclude Thiago Silva, he is 25, 26. Wesley Fofana is also not under over 25. Badiashile is not over 25. Who else is there? Colville is not 25. Who else? Alfie Gilchrist, not surely not 25. So no one
No,
is there.
Desasi is the only 25-year-old in the squad, and
Exactly.
Thiago
That's what I'm saying, bro. You understand?
and Raheem Sterling and Thiago Silva, and I think
Right.
Nkunku is about 2024.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. In defense, you need experience, and every team that's successful, or even which is growing up, rebuilding, have at least one defender that's an experienced campaigner. Unfortunately, we don't have that, and I guess we need to bring that this window. But I don't know with the sporting directors whether they will actually bring experience. I hope so. We bring someone like a Jonathan Tah from Bayern Leverkusen, but let's see
That's
what
a good
happens.
choice for me. I really
Yeah,
like that choice.
yeah,
But you know the one thing that I really look on again too. I realized today that where we're playing. I don't know if you watched the game fully, but we were playing we weren't playing the ball out from the back because the last game that we play out from the back, I was complaining about it because the Desasi is not really good of using the ball, to be quite honest. He always make give away the ball 2 or 3 times that could have
yeah.
cost us goal. But if you
Also,
notice
yeah,
today,
yeah.
we were going each ball, we weren't playing it from back. We weren't trusting it
Hmm.
with the ball, we were going long. So I think that's why
Hmm.
Pochettino is looking for a defender, someone that he can rely on, that he really needs. So I think that's what he's they're looking for at this point in time because there's
Yeah,
no way he trusts all those defenders. To me, that's why I think he go
yeah,
with the extra defender at Cole at left back.
yeah. Um, on that point, I would like to say, you know what? I don't rate my ball knowledge to be, at the very top. I guess guys like ZZ in the community, guys like Coachella, guys like Roger, guys like, on the cool chess world, guys like you may have more ball knowledge, but I personally think Poch does not want us to play back four, and the reason behind that is his whole system is based about not possession but
Yeah,
more about passing the ball, passing the ball as soon as you get, passing the ball, sprinting and passing the ball. That gegenpress system. So it's not about possession. And back four and building from the back is styles which are more suited to managers who like possession-based football, right, mate? So I don't think so. Really, he's interested, and times he has tried to play it. I guess he instructed the center backs like Disasi or Badiashile to be quick on the ball. And when you are quick on the ball, you lose some sense of composure, you lose some sense of calmness, and then you concede chances. So that's why I guess we are not playing from the back at this moment, and it's
yeah,
fine, I guess, because it doesn't suit the system of the manager.
yeah. That's fine with me for him not to be playing from the back. To be quite honest, even on Maxwell, if you notice, a lot of people was like, "Why he's not getting in the game? Why he's not getting in the game? Why we're not using him?" There. But for me, the reason why we can't use him, if we've been conceding so much goal from crosses, imagine you got
Yeah,
Maxwell and Gusto as our wing back. They're both small players. They'll only leave you with Thiago Silva and probably Disasi or Disasi and Baliashil,
yeah,
or Caldwell. So that and then we got in our midfield, we got Caicedo. Is not a big player either. Enzo is not a big player.
yeah,
So Gallagher is not a big player. So if you notice that we're really small, so that's why he's always saying that we need bigger players, more physical players, and that's why we've been conceding so many. And for me, that's why he shouldn't put Enzo on today. When he put Enzo on, I didn't see where that was necessary because Enzo just coming off injury. I haven't played the last couple of games. Enzo is not that big. Enzo is small. You see that they're trying to change the game where they're trying to put a lot of crossing. So why did you put
Yeah,
Enzo on right there? You know, Enzo not gonna press like Gallagher. Much as people been saying Gallagher, is not Chelsea level, but Gallagher is the player that's gonna be in your face at all time. We need midfielder
yeah.
that can be in the opponent face, that can
Uh,
break down play, and hit us on the counter.
hmm And one more thing is there, mate. It's like you know what, the football, the system that Poch plays, in that very system, um, I don't think so. Enzo fits so well, and Poch does not really know how to utilize Enzo, and that's a big problem for me with Pochettino because I love Enzo. I have a personal bias for Enzo and Mudrik in this team. Um, so I
Hold
can't
on,
just
Chelsea session. If you want to join us, you can join us. Okay, I
yeah,
put
big
the
up,
link.
big up.
I put the link right there in the. If you want to join us, you can. Give me a second. You can go ahead.
Yeah. So I didn't think so. He knows how to utilize Enzo, and um, so
Is
here's
it?
what I have to say.
Yeah. So, what do you think about Nicholas Jackson today? Because I don't know if you watched the show last. It was last night. I think we did a show. It was yesterday when we were talking about Nicholas. We were talking about Nicholas Jackson, and yeah, I think it was last night. Nicholas Jackson is not a striker.
Joseph, bro,
Yeah.
you're gonna get in trouble if I start speaking about Nicholas Jackson.
No, go ahead. That's
I,
what
I
we're here
have I have been hated in the community wherever I go as a panelist to rant about Jackson. So, oh well, what to say about Jackson? I don't hate the player. Starting from that statement, I just feel that Nicholas Jackson is not Chelsea level. He needs a lot of, you know, um, what to say, loans like maybe in teams like Luton Town, Burnley, where he can develop. And he's not a striker, right? He has never been a striker. He is more used to play in the wings. Um, and yeah, that's it. And the biggest problem with Nicholas Jackson, mate, is he misses those chances that should be buried, and it becomes kind of a dichotomy that he's good at everything else than being a striker himself.
Yeah,
And
you're
yeah,
100% correct. I'm not cutting you off. You're correct. Yeah, like say your piece because I'm gonna say
yeah,
mine too. You say your piece.
and Poch believes in him, and that's all right. I guess he's brilliant in link up play, in distributing the ball, in dropping deep, in collecting the ball from the midfield. He's even very good defensively in some spaces I've seen him. But he's not a striker. He has never been a striker. And if we want to convert him to striker, which I guess we are trying to do, we need to wait for at least 2 seasons for him to
Today,
start.
it's probably gonna take him at least a 2 year to really
Yeah,
develop
at least
into
two,
a
at least
striker.
2 seasons to develop in a top
He,
striker.
he doesn't have a
And
striker instinct. He don't know how
exactly,
to break the lines. He don't know
exactly.
how to hold his runs, and he don't
And the
know when to
biggest, yeah, and the biggest problem, mate, sorry to cut you off, is he doesn't know that, you talk about instinct, right? You're correct. He doesn't have that first time shooting instinct that a striker must have in order to be successful in modern day football.
and
You know that instinct when you receive a ball on your foot and you strike, bang, on the net. He doesn't have that. He takes too much time on the ball and then messes it up. So yeah, that's a problem. What else? I'm exhausted. Saying a lot about Nicolas Jackson and all the Chelsea channels I go to. Uh, Nothing to say. Just you know what? It's not even his mistake, bro. To be very honest, this is on owners. This is on sporting directors. He was not a striker at Villarreal. Then he started playing on striker position. He scored 10 goals out of nowhere, and you saw that purple patch, and you brought him and set him to lead the line at the Premier League Cup, that too of a stranger of Chelsea. Now he has scored and he has performed brilliantly well for his first season. But the problem with Chelsea is if you miss your chance and if you miss sitters and the team is also not doing well, Chelsea fan base is gonna eat you alive. And
And
that's
that's
what happening with Nicholas Jackson.
because we don't have the
So
patience. Because we used to have
yeah,
strikers that we used to
exactly.
have winners, and
Exactly. You
it's
you
not his
see you
fault.
see you see last year what happened with Havertz. He was missing sitters, he was absolutely stinkers, and no one really cried even a tear when he was sold to Arsenal. People were happy in our fan base, even when he was the Champion League goal scorer, he won us the final. But no one really cares. Once you are not performing, this fan base will judge you very fast, and that has been one trait which is good as well as bad about our fan base. We are very reactionary. Maybe one of the most reactionary fan bases in footballing world. Um, I personally feel what should have happened and what could be happening in order to solve the problem Jackson is having. Bring a top striker in winter, like Victor Osimhen, because I want a Victor Osimhen. I don't need all these youngsters again, all this project and bullshit. Sorry to use that word if it's not allowed on the channel. I don't know. All this BS. All this BS of bringing in a Victor Gyökeres for 100 million and then hoping that he is a superstar. All this is BS. Bring a proven Victor Osimhen. Pay that 113 million pounds release clause. It's less 2 millions less than Caicedo, so we should not have a problem. Bring a Victor Osimhen and then start Jackson like Pep starts Julian Alvarez in City behind Haaland. Give him minutes off the bench. Play him in the EFL Cups. Let him develop into a proper striker under the guidance of Victor Osimhen, who has done it in Champions League, who has done it for Nigeria, who has done it for his club in Napoli. That
Yeah,
would be the real process we should follow.
the
Let's
thing
see what
is,
happens or not.
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The thing is
No,
with
no,
with
no,
the
not
Nicholas
problem.
Jackson part is what you said is factual. I didn't want this part to really slip me. I think we buy too much players, similar players, and I think that by Nicholas Jackson and think that he was going to be the striker, which he's not. He's the same type of player like Christopher Nkuku, the same type of player of Carney Chukwemeka. So that's three player we got right there. That is the same number, like a player like a number 10,
Yeah,
you
but
know.
you
And
know
then you
what?
got Cole Palmer, that make four. So, but the difference is Cole
Like,
Palmer can play out wide, Jackson can play out wide,
and
Carney
and
can't really play out wide, and Nkuku can play out wide, but he more like fitting as a number 10. And I
now,
saw we put him today as a striker, and that's not his strength.
yeah,
It didn't get involved in the game at all.
yeah. Now you have mentioned all those names, and I'm just thinking. And you know what? Funnily enough, if you say all these guys can score except of Nicholas Jackson, and Kunkun can score, Palmer can score, the other name you said can score, but
Yeah,
Nicholas Jackson misses sitters. That's his problem. If he was scoring 50% of the sitters he missed, he would be a star for Chelsea by now. He has done
yeah,
his part. I'm not lying. He has scored 7 8 goals. That's very good for a Chelsea striker who has first season in the Premier League, coming from Villarreal. It's good, but it's not Chelsea level, and that's a problem. And and that gets what should I say? That gets fired up, or that gets instigated by you missing sitters and those compilations going round and round on Twitter, and Chelsea fans raising and booing you. So that's not helping him at all. And it's completely an owner's and manager and sporting director's mistake. That's not how a youngster should be introduced to a team like Chelsea. They should be given time.
yeah. The thing is, I wouldn't say he's not a Chelsea. I wouldn't say he's not a Chelsea type of player because Chelsea gonna do. We're gonna need a solid 11 or 13 or 14, and we're gonna need like player like Jackson and Gallagher, players that can really, come off the bench and put some energy, just like that little kid when he come on in the right back area. You see all the passion and stuff like those. We're gonna need players like that to always be right there in the squad. You know, and I wouldn't. That's why I wouldn't say that he's not Chelsea lever, but the greatest thing for me is just what we're gonna do in this January window. We don't really need a lot. We just need a striker. That's what we mainly need. We just mainly need a striker, and
Yeah,
because this goalkeeper even look better than Sanchez, to be quite honest.
yeah. Petrovic. Yeah, but I mean, I agree with you, mate. I personally feel that um, Petrovic is even better in some aspects than Kepa. Not to undermine Kepa's contribution to the club. He's an absolutely great for our club. I love him, but I guess Petrovic is better. I mean, than Sanchez, absolutely. You know what? After that, after those penalty showdowns, right?
Hmm.
After all those games, right? I personally feel that whenever Petrovic is in the box, right, and a corner is coming, a free kick is coming, or a cross is coming, I am more relaxed now than I was when Sanchez was in the box. That
Yeah,
trust is there with Petrovic, and that's very rare for a goalkeeper to have. So I wish him well. I mean, I don't think so. We need anyone in winter. If we have to go for someone, I would wait for summer and then maybe go for a Diego Costa or Mike Magningan. As I said, I don't really want any more projects, any more 70 million youngster signing. Just go and buy experience now. We're done with all the youngster signings we had to.
yeah, and if we sign too much in January, we're gonna overbloat the squad, and we don't want what happened last season
Yeah.
happen again. So for me, I see a lot of people being saying that we need to sell Gallagher. I don't think we need to sell Gallagher at this point in time. I think we can wait for the summer, to really. Uncle Jess is joining us. We can wait on the summer to really get rid of him. How you doing, Uncle Jess?
Man, I'm living my best life. What about you, my guy?
Big up, big
Yes,
up,
sir.
big up,
Doing
big up.
good.
Hey,
Yeah, we're just here waffling a little bit about the game today. What your take on the game today?
well, we got lucky at the end. Um,
Whew, lucky indeed.
um, look, I hate to come out and just start slamming players, but certain players just.
Go for it. Shoot for the stars.
I
We
believe we
have
were
to.
we were playing a 4-2-3-1, correct today. Well, one of your sixes thinks he don't have to play as a six. He can go play whatever position he wants to play on the pitch at any point in time in the game. That's why you don't have control of your midfield, and that's why you don't have control of the game. That's why you didn't have the majority of possession because your midfield sucked because you had one six when you're supposed to have two sixes, and you had one guy who was just. I think I need to go over there. I think there was a screenshot put out of passes made or attempted or passing patterns in the game from the first minute to the 66th minute. Conor Gallagher's position was above Madueke's as a six. Now, I'm not the smartest man on earth, you know, but I thought that as a six, you were supposed to be playing more defense and help build up, be a support role. No, not Conor Gallagher. He going to go chase that bone until he gets it. And that guy just needs to go in January. Enough of this.
I understand. I fully understand. But the reason why I want to sell him in January, I would give him until the end of the season. I see what you were saying, and it's a thing that constantly happen in each game. Because if you already leading up 2 goals, 3 goals, why would you be chasing? And you see they're trying to overload the right side and get in the squares, and he was the right side and holding midfielder, and he wasn't there to be helping Gusto out, and that's where all the square was coming from because he was the one that should have been there to be closing those gaps, but he been kept getting caught high we did a video last night when we were talking about this little young player that we bought from the Jamaican player. You know, we were
Whitmer.
showing I was
Yeah.
showing a little bit of what he can
He's
do.
good.
Yes. And for me, you know, we were talking about it, but Gallagher keep on, that's his biggest downfall. He don't know when to hold his line and when to push and when not to, you know,
Yeah.
and you're correct. But I would just keep him until the summer and see what's going on. That's just me.
Yeah. I don't have any need to keep Conor Gallagher in this team. Assuming that we can actually get people fit, I wouldn't play him. He just doesn't bring anything to the table for me. And like I said, if you're not going
Yeah.
to play your position and you're going to be a detriment when you're out there, then I don't know why we need to see you again. Y'all remember Marcus Alonso, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This was my thing about Marcus Alonso. He would have good games, but everybody around him would have a crap game. Why? Because he would steal all their mojo to have a good day. You know, he would steal all their good stuff so he could have a good game, but everybody around him would look bad because he makes everybody around him look bad for him to look good. That's the same thing with Conor Gallagher. For Conor Gallagher to look good, everybody else that he's playing with has to look bad because he puts them in horrible positions because his football IQ is lacking.
Any,
So
anything you have to say? You have to add to that time?
Um. Well, you know what? Gallagher is such a intriguing subject to talk about because I guess 60% of the fan base wants him, and 40% of the fan base just I don't know why doesn't rate him enough. I get it. He's not the Chelsea level as people say, but mm, you know what? Here's my take on Conor Gallagher. I personally feel that he should not have been given the armband if it was already in plans to sell him in this window. Now, when we have given him the armband, and no one can deny this now, that he has been dropping consistent performances in some of the games, right? And he has been giving it all of his efforts. Now, those efforts are quality, those efforts are um, up there, top class with the elite midfielders or not, whether he's making other midfielders bad, as the respected panelists said. The one thing we can all agree is he's dropping performances after performances after performances each and every game, right? In terms of the passes, in terms of the rating, in terms of the work rate. Um, so now here's a problem. What do you do when your club is ready to sell your current captain to your direct rival, as per reports, Tottenham Hotspurs, for which I consider 40 million, which is not a good rate to sell your current captain to a direct rival. You should charge at least a bit more than what uh, is rumored, like 40 million, right? Make it 48, 49, 50. Close it 45 plus 5 add-ons. Make it expensive for them at least, right? So here's my problem. I have no personal afflictions to Gallagher, but I guess the passion he brings to the table is something that is irreplaceable, because very few players will play like that for our football club, being a carbon product. So not being a carbon product, I mean being a proper Chelsea as he claims to be, and he shows that mentality of being a Chelsea player and what it is to be a Chelsea player actually shows. So yeah, for all that mentality, passion, and all, I guess I have a soft corner for Conor Gallagher. But when it's all about technique, when it's all about quality, as the other respected panel member was saying, even I cannot agree that he's world class or in the elite kind of midfielders. But here's a again a problem. The system Poch plays, and again it's on the manager. That's why I say it's a lot of things that's happening right now to a football club is on Pochettino himself. Does Pochettino know how to play midfielders like Enzo? as a register. In my frank opinion, he does not, because he always have preferred midfielders who can go on forward, jump in, win those second balls, run, sprint, press. Those midfielders that hold and control play are never preferred by Poch. So Gallagher is like oxygen to the system Poch is playing. I fear that the moment Gallagher is gone from the system, the midfield will look even worse, because you know what is happening. All those balls lost in the midfield, all those transition play we lose. Gallagher overcompensates for Enzo and Caicedo's mistakes sometimes. That won't happen. And Pochettino's ass will not be saved anymore by Gallagher. And that would be a real problem. So that's why I think Poch should get someone who he wants, but will he? I don't think so, because, in my frank opinion, he's powerless in the window. All the decisions are made by the owners and sporting directors. So let's see how it happens. But it's very tricky to comment on Gallagher, because at one side he's having the armband, he's dropping performances in terms of stats. You don't want him to sell, but on one side, then when I see maybe his selling can finance a Victor Osimhen, which I really want. So yeah, it's very tricky to comment on him quite personally. Yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, with Gallagher, to be quite honest, and I don't know if you guys remember when we got Conte. Just imagine Conte in the position where Gallagher is playing as an holding midfielder. Conte would be there helping his right back out and try to limit the squares, and that's what we got. We don't got nobody being closing down the help the right back, the wing backs to or the left back to close down the squares. And the most of our midfielder, they try to stay inside of the midfield. They don't go out wide to close the gap. I never see one of, I don't know if it's from the coach or it's just a habit that they develop, but I never see none of our older midfielder going wide to close down the plays or to help the wing back. Because if you out wide, the winger should go at least have the chance to go inside, to cover. But none of our midfielders are going out there to cover. So our defense line is really really vulnerable because there's not a lot of help from the midfield. A holding midfielder is not there to stand in the middle of the field. A holding midfielder is to go across and help close down the play. Our wing backs are always have one-on-one with the opponent winger, are always being overloaded after their wing backs going past their wingers to get crossing. And the coach, if he don't really see that at this point in time, and see that we're being vulnerable at that place right now, that we're gonna always concede goals in this manner.
Yep.
What do you say, Uncle Jess?
Yeah, I'm gonna make this my last point. I told Uncle, good old Mr. Mitchie that I would be on today. So I missed him yesterday.
Yeah, that's why I start so early because I want to go over there too.
Yeah, look, I love passion. Great. You have to have people who are going to play with passion and fly around the field. But when it's to the detriment of your team, that ain't good. That's not a positive. It's fine if you're given the role to where you're allowed to go do what you're doing. Today, he wasn't given that role, and he did it anyway. And he's done that a lot this year. And people want to praise him for the stats, but we're 10th. We haven't played well. You're saying, well, he's the best player. Well, he's your best player and you're 10th. What does that tell you about your best player?
Not
He's not good
performing.
enough.
Yeah.
He's not good enough. And folks, there's fine margins in this game between those that are not good enough and those that are good enough for Chelsea. And it is not a big, huge gap. It's margins. And he just doesn't have enough tech to his game. He doesn't have enough football IQ to say, hey, we need to keep this player in the team when you can go put 50 million P's in your bank account to put that towards, an Osman or Tony or whoever you're looking to buy, right? He is more valuable to this team as a sellable commodity than he is as a player on the pitch. That's just
Yeah.
the end of it. And when that happens to any player, they're gone. When your sell-on value is more than the value you bring on the pitch, you're done for that club. It just is.
I know this is your last point, Uncle Jess. I want to ask you
Sure.
something before you go, because I want to really ask you this question. What do you think about Ryan Sterling and Nicholas Jackson?
Nick Jackson is very raw. He is more of an inside forward than an out striker. Um, Probably needs to put on a little bit more weight to be a striker, but I don't know if that's his body type, right? He seems to be a slim kind of guy. A second striker, sure, yeah. If you had a competent 10 on the pitch that's going to hold the ball up for your striker and then play him in, you could do that too. But even you saw with Nkunku today, he's not going to out muscle center backs on a regular basis to hold up the ball for Nick Jackson. Now, Nick does hold the ball fairly well. He needs to work on it. But I saw him today, and for the last few days being on the left wing, you're like, all those things that you want from your winger, he does. Runs, build up play, comes back and defends more than I've seen any of our wingers come back and defend. I mean, he was back in the box today defending. So I think that with all of those things and with all the bad play you could say about him and all the bad misses, there's a player there. And if you stick with him, now that doesn't mean you don't bring an out and out striker in, but if you keep this kid is worth keeping on your bench because he can be magic at some point in the game. Just imagine Oshman holding the ball up, he runs through, plays the ball through, boom, goal. If he can hit the target, right? He has a place in this team. The striker who does not have a place in this team is Armando Broja. Again, his sale will benefit this team more than anything he can do on the pitch. It's just he missed his window with his team with all those injuries.
Yeah, I think so too. I think when he got injured on the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
And for Raheem Sterling, because my take on Raheem Sterling, let me give you my take on him. I think Raheem Sterling is not playing like when he's at Man City, because at Man City, he used to make the passes and run behind to go on the end of it. But now he's at Chelsea. I think for me, in my opinion, I think he think that he's already there. He's the man. So he always hold on the ball too long for me. You don't know when to pass or when to driver. Those little things for me. I think Raheem Sterling is struggling right now with a little bit of. When I was at Man City, I used to do this, but now I'm at Chelsea. I'm the more experienced player, so I can do whatever I want. For me, I think that's what cause is not consistent. That's in my view on it by watching him.
Yeah, I actually right now the only time you want to have Raheem Sterling with the ball is in the box because his build-up play, all that tech he used to have, I don't know where it went. But he's not great building up play from the wing. So if he's doesn't have the ball in the box, what is he going to do for you? So and with Nkunku coming back, with Dweke coming good for the last few games, Palmer doing what he's doing, Nkunku back, Mudryk starting to find a little bit of form. Do you need to have Raheem Sterling as a stamped-on starter? No,
Also, yeah.
you don't.
Yeah, please go on. Please go on. Please go on.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, man. Also, I want to say this last bit on Sterling. Um, I personally feel, brother. I mean, it's like all these big players like Raheem Sterling, right? Um, they have some sense of, I won't call it ego, but they have some sense of mood to them. If they get frustrated from a striker, right, like Nico Jackson, he passes to Nico Jackson and he misses that sitter. And sometimes I've seen Sterling frustrated, like how you can miss it. And then people start saying that Sterling has been shellfish in the last games for not passing it. Sometimes people like Sterling, big players like Sterling, get frustrated from the strikers if they are not executing the pass, and they take the onus on themselves. I guess the selfish attitude of Sterling, it has been there in his game since a long time. I would agree, but in the last few games, it has been for the very reason that Nicholas Jackson couldn't finish if it was even given to him. So he was trying it himself, and then he was hated a lot on X for that selfishness. I can understand, but you need to agree. He's the only winger who has a lot of experience under Hazard and who can dribble past a lot of defenders, and who has real quality under Hazard if he's consistent. The only issue with him is consistency, right? So dropping Sterling isn't a very good thing. I think we should move on with rotation. Madueke, Madueke is good. He scored back-to-back 2 games, so it's all right. But he's not so good in defensive contribution, so he needs to improve in that. Yeah, but I mean that's what I have for Sterling. Still, there's nothing much. You need Sterling anyhow in big games. You need that mentality. You need that experience. So Sterling is important for Chelsea, at least for this season. Maybe any Saudi club is coming next summer, but I don't think so. He's going anywhere this season, and he should be dropped. No, he's important.
Yeah, I know we're gonna go over to Mitchell Boy's show. Any last words for you guys? Because I know I'm gonna go over there to watch it for a little bit.
Last words. This win means nothing if we lose our next game.
Exactly. Big up. Rightly said.
Yeah, the thing is, we got before we play our next game, we got 2 games where we can really give some players some rest, and hopefully we can get players back to fitness, and hopefully by Fulham we got a full squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully. For me, I think we can we can do better in the second half of the season if Pochettino get it right. As we say, with probably Gallagher, if Enzo get back to his fitness, or probably Lavia, because the little 5 or 10 minutes I see of Lavia with Caicedo, I see something different right there, to be quite honest, than with Gallagher. So hopefully we can get it right. And I really appreciate you guys coming on, and
Big
I'm
up. Big up. Big up.
really thankful. See you guys over Mitchell Boy.
See you. See you.
All right,
Big
fellas.
up. Big up. Big up. Take care. Up the
Thank
chance.
you. Thank you. Big up, Charles. Yes, yes, guys. That's our Premier League rundown for today. I hope you guys like, share, and please remember to subscribe. The Notorious Tash in the building. One of my number one supporter, always there, even though she's a Liverpool fan. But always in the building. Really appreciate it. Much love. You know, um, so as I said, guys, remember, like, share, and subscribe to your boy GSC Garvin. Thank you, guys. Peace. I'm out.